Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today and Tarot. My name is Mel Rose. This is the Tarot portion in the second half of my daily astrology vlog, which you can check out on my other channel, Astrology Today with Mel Rose. Over there, you'll find a description of the day's astrology as I've spelled it out here. Here, I will discuss the tarot card that sits on the side of the page, and then I will play another card that, in the context of the day's astrology, may just give us something more to think about. So let's get into it. The card that currently sits on the side of the page is the Three of Pentacles. And today's the last day for this card. We've come to the end of the second decan, or the second 10 days of the sun's transit in the land of Capricorn. Capricorn being an earth sign, and Pentacles in Tarot being earth element symbolism as well. And earth element symbolism relates back to the physical resources we possess and what we're willing to do with them in order to create a sense of abundance, a sense of stability and support and safety in our lives and the lives of those people we keep close. And so we come to the Three of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles here is very much a card, you see, about collaboration, about teamwork, about how much we can get done when we work together, right? Everybody shows up with their different skills and resources, you know. Maybe somebody contributed the money and somebody contributed the plan, and then clearly another one of these people contributed the work. And, you know, between the three of them, they've been able to create something structural, strong, stable, that will last a long time and hopefully provide, you know, perhaps inspiration, perhaps even shelter to people, to more people than just themselves. Okay, so that's the beautiful thing about collaboration is, you know, that we get to show up and do our part. And, you know, having done so, we contribute to the support and uplift of our whole community. And with that said, we got the Nine of Wands again. Okay. Well, what more clues can we take from this? So the wands are fire element symbolism. We have earth and fire here. We have earth and fire here. Nine of Wands is, you know, it's toward the end of the fire sign or the fire element symbolism story in the tarot. So it really indicates a point of having to be resilient, a point of having to sort of stay on track and stick to our goals, even though we might be tired, even though we might feel a little beat up or dragged down, or just, you know, done with this already in our hearts and minds. You know, we have just a little bit more to accomplish, right? But this person is standing here with their wands, which are basically markers of achievement. They're reminders of all the things they have actively pursued and managed to achieve, goals unlocked, the smaller goals that add up to make, you know, eventually a larger goal, right? So, you know, this person got here through a lot of drive and determination, fighting for what they know is right, and, you know, seeking to get it all done in a, you know, in a forward-moving fashion that shows determination, right? So, and wands are very physical, so it's really very much about the work that this person has done, the effort that they have put into the accomplishment of these goals, or the near accomplishment of this larger goal that they're almost at the end of. Okay, so there's a little bit of defensiveness that comes in here, but it's really more like, gosh, I would love to stop here, but I have to be strong, and I have to engage some stamina and some endurance and some staying power to get through to the end of this goal, okay? Because otherwise this wouldn't have been worth it for us. So where do we see this on the page? Nine of Wands. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, right? That's kind of what I get from Nine of Wands is keep going. Let's go. We're almost there. It's almost like, you know, if you're watching football, for example, and your team's guy is running toward the goal, and he's gotten down to 20 feet from the goal, or 20 yards from the goal. You see how big I am on sports. But he's gotten within 20 yards of the goal, and you kind of cheer him on. He won't be tired. He might wish that he could stop running right then, but he's going to keep going because he's being cheered on, and he's really going to accomplish something great if he gets over that goal line. Okay, so where am I seeing this on the page? Well, so Mars is our fire planet. It's our sign of initiative. It's the god of war. It is the king of conquest, right? And it's very physical. It's very much active. It's about the work that we do to achieve what it is that we're trying to achieve. Mars has been retrograde in Gemini for 7 months, friends. Can you believe it? Or no, not retrograde in Gemini for 7 months, but Mars has been in Gemini for 7 months. And Mars in Gemini, tends to get us started on too many tasks to complete necessarily, or tends to make us distracted and make us want to start different things without going back and taking care of the business we've already started. Mars in Gemini requires a little more collaborative effort, wants us to talk about what our plans are and maybe work with other people. And then Mars has been retrograde since the end of October. So really that's been a time of frustration and slowdown. If any of you have really fiery dispositions out there, or even if you don't, we all have Mars in our chart. You may have been feeling some slowdowns and frustrations in the part of your chart where Mars resides. So, understand that those slowdowns are meant as a time to reflect and review how it is that we approach things, how it is that we approach doing certain activities, making these conquests, actively pursuing our goals. And we reflect on it so that, we can realize what hasn't worked for us in the past, and therefore make more efficient and make more capable our efforts in the future, right? So that's been Mars in retrograde in Gemini, and I can see that very much like we're 3 days out, guys, from Mars going direct again. Right? We're at the end of that retrograde. Okay, we're at the end of all these months of frustration and trying to move forward and trying to make starts and having to try again, and having to let things go for a while to see if we can take initiative on them again in the future. There might be some things that we've already started that have stalled out during Mars retrograde that we might have to get started again. But, we're almost at the end of this Mars retrograde. This is almost the end of the fire challenge, right? So, keep that in mind and keep pushing, keep trying, okay? Mars retrograde doesn't mean that we shouldn't try to take initiative. It's just giving us some room to experiment and to think about and to try different approaches to actively solving our problems, actively achieving what it is that we've set out to do, okay? Not all active approaches are the best active approaches, and we all get to sort of review the way we go about doing things from time to time. It's really helpful to do that. So keep that in mind. Now, Venus is trine to Mars right now. Venus is in Aquarius and Mars in Gemini, so they're both in air signs. This is very much about what we think. It's very much about how we collaborate. It's, Venus in Aquarius is interested in the new and different. It's interested in things that look secure but are perhaps somewhat innovative. Okay, it's a little bit more risk-taking than Venus in Capricorn, right? But it's definitely serious about drawing things in that are there for our stability and for the stability of our communities and our collectives, right there. So, Venus and Mars together in this trine position, this is a very fertile time, okay? So understand that whatever it is that you are active about right now, especially if it has to do with something that you like, love, and can't get enough of, if you're actively in the pursuit of that, understand that, you might create something material from your activity. You might create a new life. In fact, it's that kind of fertile good time. But you can also, sort of take initiative on something that increases your self-awareness. And that's coming from this sextile that Mars and Venus have with Jupiter and Chiron that are now just nearly essentially conjunct. They are 10 degrees apart. That is about the 10 degrees is about the distance at which they start to have an impact on one another. And this gap is going to close over the next couple of months. They'll be fully conjunct actually on March 9th. There's a lot of stuff happening in the beginning of March that's going to represent true initiative and true forward motion. It's sort of like allowing the gates to go up and the horses to run, okay? So at this time, whatever it is that we're trying to create, whatever it is that we're actively involved in, it'd be a good idea to be taking initiative on an educational opportunity, a business opportunity, even an adventure opportunity, an opportunity to sort of see what we can make of what it is that we already have on hand. And taken together with the Three of Pentacles. Again, I see this person reflecting and thinking, gosh, maybe, next time around I'll try collaborating. Or maybe this person is looking back and saying, okay, I've spent all this time, Mars retrograde in Gemini, like collaborating, trying to make things work with the help of other people. And, either I'm happy I collaborated or that was very difficult for me and I've learned some lessons about collaboration. But there is a sort of dichotomy to be observed here between working in a group and trying to go it alone that stands out really well for me. These people all have achievements they had to unlock as well in order to get this thing to come into fruition. But, one person unlocks one set of goals and then the other person unlocks another set of goals and then the third person unlocks another set of goals and they work together to make sure it gets done. Whereas, when you're the Nine of Wands, you probably had to become the expert on everything that had to do with whatever is you're trying to complete. Because, fiery dispositions tend to try to work alone. That doesn't mean to say there isn't some benefit to be had from collaborating, from having collaborated or from collaborating in the future. It just, while we're still in this reflective period, we can probably look back on what it is that we have cooperated to create and what material is coming from that. Okay, I think that's all I have to say about it today, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate your presence here. My name is Mel Rose, and I'll see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today and Tarot.